This is the B main. We got him bunched up coming out of turn 2. Sideways and on the throttle and down the backstretch. There's Matt Cosner. He had some problems. As Cosner in that second spot. He's slipping to third. Darren Hoover on the bubble on this 12-lap B main as Austin Wayne Self and Dan Patterson doing battle. Austin Wayne Self, former ARCA and NASCAR Truck Series driver, with us tonight. Brandon Hoover, Matt Cosner, David Green, the 17 of Hoover, the 23 of Self, Dan Patterson. As Austin Wayne Self is the man on the outside looking in. As Hoover and Green battling for that third spot. Hoover would like to pick up another spot on Green. Green up on that cushion, almost into the outside wall. It's Cosner not able to track down Hoovy. Brandon Hoover in commanding lead. Matt Cosner's second. They're in, along with David Green and Darren Hoover. Your top four. Austin Wayne Self on that bottom, trying to find some traction in a different line. He is on the outside looking in as we are halfway on this B main. Battle for that third spot as we've got a three-way battle as Austin Wayne Self on that bottom side having some trouble as we've got a yellow. 6. Todd Gross looping it up in turn 2. That will bunch the field up. So there will be a choose line. They will be double file. So let's see who goes either in or out with Brandon Hoover. Currently Austin Wayne Self on that 5th spot on the outside looking in. All right, modified Mafia race control telling the drivers they've got to pick their line. So Hoovy, let's see what Hoovy does. It looks like he wants to go on the outside. Cosner will go on the bottom. David Green on the outside. Hoovie's going to take it up on the outside. You see him 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 down through the field. So the Howard Hanna Bardell Realty restart zone brings it back up as Brandon Hoover up on that high momentum side. Cosner fighting on the bottom. Now we got things shaken up for that third, fourth, and fifth spot. As David Green into the outside wall. Now in your third spot. Trevor Neville, after having some problems in the heat, spun out on that last lap. He's in the race. Green, as we've got them hard together. Billy Van Meter and David Green. Hard contact off of turn 2. Start not a friend to David Green as he was struggling. Got up under the outside wall a couple times. And Calamity Corner down in turn number 2. Green loses it. And Van Meter had nowhere to go.
And fans watching live, you can definitely see the heavy damage on the front of both of those machines. That was a very hard hit for both of them. High momentum up in turn 2.
I'd like to thank everybody watching tonight on Sports Action TV, as that gives us a good look into turn number 2 for those folks watching at home or on their device. As we will stop them here on the front stretch. David Green, very dejected and taking a look at the front of his car. Billy Van Meter out of Cumberland, down by Fairgo, down by the Cumberland Fairgrounds. Van Meters have been in the racing business for about 35 years, I want to say. As the Bedford Automotive tow truck down on the scene. David Green second in points here in this 2025 campaign. Brandon Hoover, your track champion, down on the front stretch. Matt Cosner moving up from the super late models, giving the modified a try. Of course, the Jacob Marker 66 already into the field. There's Austin Wayne Self in a 23 on the front stretch. ARCA Menards Series winner last year. Former competitor in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, with us from his North Carolina home. Green's going to give it a try to get his car to go. So we're hearing from timing and scoring that David Green would be our track provisional. So one of the race officials needs to make sure he knows this, because maybe he can get that car back together. So your top four in the field, 45 of Hoover, the 66 of Cosner, the 777 of Neville from way back into the third spot, and Austin Wayne Self in the 23. As of now, they are in the show. Outside looking in, the 17 of Darren Hoover, the 11 of Troy Lomas, 610 of Patterson, the 31 of Whitfield. Track is clear. No fluids on the Speedway, so we don't need the kitty litter truck. Go into single file. Once we're past halfway in the heat, we will go single file according to modified Mafia Tour regulations. So we'll bring it down next time to the Howard Hanna Bardell Realty Restart Zone. 7 laps in the books. We're going to have some hard racing as these guys try to get into the big show. Big payout tonight, even bigger tomorrow night. Hoover, Cosner, Neville, and Self, your top four. Coming down the restart, here we go. See if we can finish off this B main. Cosner getting the feel for these modifieds as here comes Hoover on the outside of Austin Wayne Self. The battle for that 4th spot into 3. As Hoover goes high, Cosner looking at the bottom of these 45 as Hoover gave it all he got, but he's got damage on that spoiler. So that right side of the spoiler is damaged on the 17 of Hoover. Brandon Hoover out front in the 45. As Cosner getting a good feel for these modifieds as these laps are ticking down. Austin Wayne Self stay in that 4th spot. And Neville from way back, Trevor Neville has caught up to these guys, the front 2. So right now, there's your top 3 as they are in 1 and 2. Neville doing all he can as he spun in his heat race. He was qualified. And if he can keep her between the guard posts, he will be in the show tonight. A hard charge for Neville, and he's still all out with 1 lap to go. Coming out of turn 2, rolling down the backstretch, Hoover, Cosner, and Neville, your top 4. Austin Wayne Self in 4th. This time, checkered flag for your B main and Brandon Hoover, followed by Cosner, Neville, and Self. They are in the show. Chubby bringing him down nice and easy. And we've got a green. Right. '65 a little bit early. We'll do it again. All right, re-racking them right now. We'll do it again with Childers, Jay, Brown, Wyant, Deneen, and Kyle Wyant. We've got some beautiful shots on Sports Action TV. I'd like to thank the production crew here tonight, catching all the action. Folks watching coast to coast, this is the Bedford Fairgrounds Speedway, just above the Mason-Dixon line in Pennsylvania, right along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and we're glad that you're watching the show with us tonight on Sports Action TV. Let's see how it comes this time. Childers, Jay, things look good, and the green is out. Davey Brown getting a little loose coming out of turn 2. We got him door handle to door handle going into turn 3. Here comes Deneen. Deneen looking for a spot. Here comes Garrett Kiefer. Kiefer on the bottom side of Deneen. Underneath the Kyle Wyant. 3 wide coming out of Rutter's turn 2. And Bobby J having trouble. And we've got them all together. Bobby J having transmission troubles there a few weeks ago. That could have been a lot worse. Smoke out of the 4J, it sounds like, or sees to be. 28 with a right rear flat pulling in the pits, so, and Garrett Kiefer into the pit area. Hey, on Sports Action TV, you can see guys making some moves as coming up very quickly on the stalled number 4 of Bobby J. Bobby J trying to get on the inside of the speedway. Garrett Kiefer making it back out onto the track. Deneen still in the pit area. And we've got the Southern Cove Volunteers bringing their rig out. Apparently we've got something hot under the hood of the 4, so all right, red flag conditions. We will be stopped on the backstretch. And the Bedford area ambulance being summoned out to the Bobby J car. And the close-up here on Sports Action TV. Bobby J is out of the car. Taking a look at the trunk area in where the fuel cell is. Reports on to turn 3, a battery cable on fire. So, of course, the battery is located back in the fuel cell area. So, as precaution, Bobby knew exactly where to stop. As the modified team's getting ready to go for their 30-lap feature coming up after this. So attention up into the modifieds that are in the infield and up on the midway pit area. Your lineups are posted, and you will be summoned to the front stretch as they push the 4J of Bobby J into the pit area. All right, back to yellow on the Speedway. There was a lot going on there, but only one lap in the book. As Kiefer has made it on the Speedway, Deneen has not. So there he is. Kyle Deneen back out on the Speedway. He'll tag in behind the 111 of Kiefer. You see the damage on the 28 of Deneen. They had to pull that sheet metal out of the right rear tire area. So Chubby Childers, that team having a rough year this year, just trying to find the little bugaboos that can happen with these new cars. Trying to get them straightened out, trying to get them to perform at their best. And it'd be a nice way to pretty much end the season if Chubby can have a good run in that 65. Coming down to the Howard Hanna Bardell Realty restart as we'll go at it again. Things look good, and the green is out. Ryan Sager was on the bottom side of Kyle White, but he was down on the rail. Sager had to get out of it. Going down the backstretch. Davey Brown in that second spot. Almost 3 wide coming out of Rutter's turn 2 as Brian Wine Jr. in that third spot has that bottom line. Brown up on the top side. Kyle Wine is right there. Put a blanket on top. That second, third, and fourth spot coming out of turn 2. Ryan Sager in that fifth spot as Chubby Childers says, you guys go ahead and have at it. Leave me alone. Ryan Sager looks like he's going to join the party. Cody Jarvie, Andrew Stowe, Garrett Kiefer, Eric Wine Jr., and Kyle Deneen round out the field. Kyle Wine on the bottom side of Dave Brown coming out of turn 4. Wine has been good all year on that bottom side. Looks like he has the advantage over Davey Brown as Kyle Wine in P3. Childers with about a 8-car length lead over Brian Wyant Jr. Extra distance laps tonight, 5 more than usual. Plenty of time for these guys to get up and challenge the 65 of Childers. Childers up on that momentum line, powering out of turn 2 into 3. 65 looking good tonight. Ryan Wine Jr. second, Kyle Wine in third, Dave Brown in fourth, Ryan Sager in fifth, and Cody Jarvie now into sixth. Garrett Kiefer in seventh, trying to gain some spots back from the Bobby J incident coming out of turn 2 on turn 1. This time we are halfway, at the halfway mark. Chubby Childers, Brian Wyant Jr., Kyle Wyant, Dave Brown, and Ryan Sager, your top 5. Childers bringing that number 65 nice and easy into turns 1 and 2. Beautiful shots on Sports Action TV as it looks like Wyant gained some spots there, gained some distance, gained a couple car lengths. Brian Wyant Jr. in the points race all year long. As Brian Wyant Jr. has reeled him in. $13 down. The track changing on these drivers, the tires going through their heat process. You put that egg in between the gas pedal and the throttle as Eric Wyant trying to get into the pits. He's taking his time, coasting in, the 88 of Wyant, Eric Wyant, into the pits. That time, Childers a little bit better. But Wyant has something to look at, Childers does not. Kyle Wyant trying to make up some ground too as we've got 5 to go. On a normal race, that would have been the checkered, but we've got 5 more laps tonight for these semi-elites. Childers changing up his line, going down on the bottom side, down on the rail. that time around. Let's see what he does this time up in 1 and 2. About in the middle of the speedway. Again, he's changing that lineup. Now he's entering the corners. Here comes Wyatt. Childers leaving that top side open. Childers decides to go back up on the top side, blocking Wyatt. This time coming around, it will be 2 to go for Chubby Childers. Can Childers hold on? Childers again stretching out his lead just a bit. Going back up top. This time around, this is the white flag. White flag for Chubby Childers. Half a lap to go. Childers pretty much not changing his line as we're coming down for the checkered flag, the 65 of Chubby Childers, followed by Brian Wyatt Jr., Kyle Wyatt, Dave Brown, Ryan Sager, Cody Jarby, Garrett Kiefer, Kyle Deneen, and the AD of Andrew Stowe.
Give it up for the 65 of Chubby Childers. Got to walk around the hay bales here late in the year. Doesn't matter though, you're up on victory lane, you led all 20 laps, some mixed emotions by the fans there, but how'd it feel from your point of view?
Good. We struggled with this thing pretty much all season there. We had some help. Travis and them, they built this CRS, they built this car from scratch there over the winter. This thing feels amazing right now. I mean, that's the best it's ever worked. Spike Moore, he helps us. Travis, the family there, this is their deal and Foster Wineland's deal. It was Pork Sal and Jesse's last year, and they just sort of got out of it, and Travis took over with Foster Winelands and got the sponsorship on this thing. So it's CRS and Foster Wineland owns this thing. I see it Friday to Friday. I don't look at it, I don't work on it. I just show up at the racetrack because I got my own business and it's just busy. But Spike, I mean, he helps. Travis helps him a lot, you know, and I know these guys feel good. I feel good. I mean, it was a rocket ship this evening.
Yeah, looked really good. Started on the pole, led all 20 laps. How do you like running this compared to the pure stock? I know you're usually running that every Friday as well.
I mean, this thing, it's a little faster. It's a little more freer than what them hobby stocks are. But I had my own there a couple years ago and got out of it. It was just out of control back then. It still is, but hopefully we can get something together here in the spring for this stuff. But I just want to thank them guys and Foster Winelands. I mean, it's their ride. I drive it.
That's right. Tonight was also the DJ Sharp Memorial, of course. You have a great trophy over there from Rick Bittinger. We'll let him come in, give you a congratulations. Who else would you like to thank that helps out on the car?
Chuck, he builds the motor. You know, it's a good powerhouse. Foster Wineland, CRS, Walters Auto Wrecking, Horton Spray Foaming, myself, Chubby Trucking and Firewood Processing. Jack White Signs does the decals. And I'm probably forgetting some, but this is the first we've been up here all year with this thing.
We'll let you get some pictures. Great run, Chubby. Give it up for the 65 of Chubby Childers.
We appreciate everybody coming out to the Bedford Fairgrounds Speedway as we present the DJ Troutman Friday Night Special. Drake Troutman getting the advantage over the 77 of Dixon as Stremme having some issues coming up, but he gets it pointed right as Taylor almost into the backside as they blast down the front stretch. Jake Troutman getting an advantage over the 66 of Falloway. Dixon in third. There's Stremme, the boss, trying to get underneath the 77 of George Dixon. Troutman changing up his line a little bit, coming off of turn number 4, moves down into the middle. 35 of Dolan. .35 of Stremme, the 35 of Outabelli. Outabelli trying to reel in the 35 of Stremme. Jonathan Taylor, the number 5. As coming up into the back of the field. For now, Troutman has clear sailing as we've got a car. Looks to be coming in the pits. 22 in the pits. Todd Nieheiser, knowing he had some issues with that car, elected to start in the back. He is in the pits. Troutman setting a blistering pace as Kentucky's Cole Falloway in second. George Dixon in third. Stremme in fourth. All right, let's see what Troutman does as he's getting into this lap traffic coming up on the 28 of Owen Lacey. Layover flag being presented. Follows out. Got a car on the inside up on turn number 4. The 5 of Jonathan Taylor having a rare issue as he is stopped up on 4, so that does bunch things up. That saves the front runners from getting into the tail of the field, so Troutman will have clear sailing again for a few laps. Got 8 laps down. Drake Troutman, Cole Falloway, George Dixon, David Stremme, Mike Outabelli, Mitch Thomas. Tie in order. And up on the Bedford Automotive hook the 5 of Jonathan Taylor. Let's hope that's all repairable. All right, Trout will be out front himself as the rabbit. And then from there on back, you choose. So up the choose line, they've got to make their decision, up or down. And it looks like Fallaway is going to go down. Dixon up. He says thank you. Dixon saying, I can't believe he did that, but Fallaway decides to take it down low. Mike out of belly above the 35 of Stremme. All right, coming down to the Howard Hanna Bardell Realty restart zone. 8 laps down. And this 30-lap, 3,000 to win affair here at the Bedford Fairgrounds Speedway. Troutman on the gas, and we are go. Fallaway for now with the advantage. Dixon. And we've got one in the wall. David Stremme around in 1 and 2. Stremme around in that 35. Let's see if he brings it in, or as we look at this replay, Stremme just getting a little bit too into the turn, into the back end of out of belly. Spun it to keep from spinning out of belly. All right, Fallaway goes down to the bottom again. Dixon up top. Mitch Thomas on the bottom of out of belly. Tie in order. Ray Cable the third. Right, again, coming down to the Howard Hanna Bardell Realty restart zone. 8 laps down. Troutman staying up on that top side. Let's see if Dixon gets a better start this time. Fallaway too strong on the bottom, but Dixon's going to stick his nose in there. Fallaway, knowing what he's doing, picks that bottom line. So the battle right there between Troutman and Fallaway up in turn 3. Battle for that third spot side by side between Out of Belly and Dixon as they blast into turn number 1. Out of Belly into third. Mike Out of Belly, former multiple time Bedford track champion, on the road this year, in third. We've got racing all over the place. But Troutman stretching out his lead over the 66 of Cole Falloway. Troutman nice and pretty in 1 and 2. Diamonds the corner. Brings it down onto the bottom. That is a fast way for now, but these drivers will be moving around trying to keep as much traction in the car as they can. As these degradation on the tires as the race goes. Tire management a big deal with these racing teams. And tire management paramount. As again, 30 laps, and we are just 12 laps down right now. Got a car on the inside up in turn 3, but looks like he keeps moving. Up on the inside shoulder of the Speedway. Troutman, Falloway, out of belly. Dixon and Norder, your top 5. As we've got one around up in 3 and 4. Let's see if everybody gets wound up. And they do. Up in 3 and 4. And the 35. Dolan having some problems. Akey getting the 58 turned around. Like 35 of Dolan up on turn 2. Into the pit area. Right front flat on the Dolan car. We were just checking to see if he was going to change that tire because he does get 2 laps to do that. So now on the choose line, Falloway to the bottom, out of belly, up top this time. All right, we're going to give him another lap for Dolan 35. They do have the car jacked up, and they're going to try to change that tire. Again, they get 2 laps. '28 into the pit area. Owen Lacey into the pit area, 28. So Mike Outabelli on the outside of Cole Falloway. There's Mitch Thomas, one of the young guns out of Oakland, Maryland. Winner last time here at Fairgrounds Speedway. Second generation driver, his dad, Jeff Thomas, ran in the super late model class down at Cumberland and here at Bedford and Elkins Interstate Speedways. And Mitch Thomas making a name for himself in these modified ranks, as we've got some of the heavy hitters in the country here tonight, as we've got them bunched up down to the Howard Hanna Bardell Realty Restart Zone. Back to green. Outabelli not able to make any hay against the Cole Falloway 66. So it's Troutman. Falloway hard on the bottom, but loses a little bit of ground. Mitch Thomas on the bottom side of the 77 of George Dixon. The battle for that fourth spot. About a third into the field, we've got a doozy with Ty Norder. Ray Cable Jr. Coming up on 17 down. 17 down. And it's been all Drake Troutman racing in his dad's memorial race. He could not be here last year because of his National Touring Series commitments. Able to make it this year. Into the 35 of Dolan. That's what you're seeing coming out of turn number 2. These modifieds not quite as aero sensitive like the super late models. Let's see if Dolan gives Drake any fits trying to get around him. As you'll be able to tell if Falloway starts closing a gap. As we've got our split screen here on Sports Action TV. Troutman trying to do the slider as that pushes Dolan up out of the way. Troutman not wasting any time on that one. The same with Falloway, going to go on the bottom side. Dolan just fast enough. Almost making contact coming out of turn 2 between Falloway and Dolan. Mike Outabelli in third. George Dixon in fourth. Dan Davies in that 5th spot in the 71. Three laps in the books. 30 lapper. So we are getting down into this closing laps tonight. Friday night here at the Bedford Fairgrounds Speedway. $3,000. And an even bigger payoff tomorrow night. So Troutman coming up onto the 58 of Akey, getting the layover flag. Troutman around Akey. Fallaway not getting any breaks as Troutman, well, we've got him together up on, oh, and it's together. Troutman sneaks through, Fallaway does not. Like Troy Loomis, possibly. Broadwater. And there's Fallaway getting away. Replay here on Sports Action TV. Broadwater getting around and Fallaway closing too fast. He had to spin her out. Water into the pits. So race control telling Fallaway he gets his spot back. He did not cause the accident. He spun for safety. So Fallaway getting his spot back. This year's big winner out of Owensboro, Kentucky. And that car 66. Mike Outabelli in third. Five to go, fans. Drake Troutman putting on a clinic tonight. Having a big scare coming out of four. Coming up onto an accident like that, it's so you're making split decisions, just trying to keep away from it, not trying to get too much on the brake. On those panic situations, both feet go on the brake pedal. And most of the time when that happens, you're spinning out. So no damage on the 66 of Fallaway. 5 to go. Are now single file. Troutman, Fallaway, Outabelli, Dixon, and Davies coming down as we wrap this up on this 30-lapper. Outabelli doing all he can. He's got to go where they ain't, so Outabelli looking at the bottom of the 66 of Fallaway. Fallaway nice and smooth coming around turn 4, but Troutman too good. Davies and Dixon almost getting together. Davies doing a slider on the 77 of Dixon. Here comes Ty Norder. Troutman, Fallaway, Outabelli and Davies safe for now as Mitch Laub and Ty Norder almost getting together on the front stretch. And we've got problems coming out of turn 2. '45 of Brandon Hoover looked like David Stremme getting in the back of the 45 of Hoover. And the 777 of Neville stopped on the backstretch. All right, so Cosner's still on the speedway. His teammate, Jacob Marker, in the pits. Neville into the pits, taking at 777. Brandon Hoover able to get going. Don't think there's any damage on his car. The 5 of Troutman. The 66 of Falloway, the 35 of Outabelli, the 71 of Davies, and the 77 of Dixon. Your top 5. Just a couple circuits left to call this final as the green is out. Outabelli again trying to do something a little bit different, but Falloway is too strong. Tying order on the outside. Trying to make some ground up, but it's coming down now to 2 to go. 2 to go. This time, 1 to go for Drake Troutman. Falloway still in second. Outabelli about 12 car lengths behind, coming down for the double checkered flag on night number 1 of the DJ Troutman Memorial. Your winner, Drake Troutman, followed by Falloway, Outabelli, Dixon, Thomas, Davies, and Norder.
Give it up for your winner tonight, the 5 of Drake Troutman. Great run, Drake. You won night 1 of your dad's memorial race. How awesome is this?
This is badass, man. It's never got to win one for him here, you know, on his memorial race, and it might not pay the most that we've ever won, but it definitely means more than anything to us. So you know, I just got to thank the track for helping us put this deal on. You know, without them, it wouldn't be possible to put this on for them every year, you know, it's definitely it's a nice memorial for him, and he's a great man, and hopefully one day I can be half the man he was. So I know he meant a lot to a lot of people, but you know, just got to thank my family for you know, everything that they do for me, and putting up with all my shit going up down the road, and of course Jerry and little Jerry for giving me the opportunity to run this car. They work super hard on this thing, and it's a privilege to race this thing for them. You know, so I got to thank Jerry, little Jerry, Todd for all their hard work. Hunter, you know, works on my stuff all the time, and just everyone who plays a role in the race programs. I don't know, thanks to all the fans for coming out and supporting this race, and Modified Mafia for you know, bringing their series in here and running this deal, and hopefully we'll put on a pretty decent show, and maybe we'll be able to go for two for two tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. This is night 1. You have night 2 tomorrow. The car look hooked up. Do you think there's any changes you have to make to get it just a little better?
You can always be better. That's the joy about this racing stuff, man. There's always room to work and get better. So tweak on a little bit for tomorrow. I think we still got some in the bag, and get a little bit better for tomorrow.
That's great. I know there's a lot of celebrating, a lot of pictures. Before we do that, we're going to have you pick our 50-50 real quick. Make somebody else a lucky winner. How are your eyes? You want to read it off, Drake?
Yeah, which one is it? Is that one? Yeah. Right there? 478604. That's 478604.
Right on. Wendy, you want to finish that?
$509 to the winner. You can pick up your money in the pits down behind the stage.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Drake. Give it up, race fans, one more time for your DJ Troutman Memorial. Night 1 winner, Drake Troutman. Once I get some pictures here, we'll interview Rick Bittinger, one of the guys that helps out, puts this whole thing together. Rick, what a great night so far.
Yeah, it's been good. It's couldn't do no better. I got to thank all the sponsors. You know, the family's been good enough to let me organize this thing and pretty much do what I want to do. And since the day it started, this is what we were after. So tomorrow night's a big payday. We'll see what he can do.
That's right. It's a pretty awesome race. Is there anyone in particular you want to thank that helps out with this? Anyone that donates, anything like that?
Oh, there's just a ton of people, and they're. I mean, just the ones I can see. Eddie and Rochelle here in RFI. She's manager at Stone Natural. Mark's back there with Rice Tire. Bradley's back there. Schaefer Construction. Rodney's there. Can't forget Jerry. Jerry's all about that kid being in Victory Lane. I mean, that's, you know, Jerry's running 2 cars now. Ty's a great kid, and man, I just got a long list. I know Eric's been plugging them all night, and we appreciate it. I got to thank Brandon and Modified Mafia, but, you know, it's hard. If I never get to do it again, tonight was all worth it.
That's absolutely right. We're really excited for night 2. Thank you, Rick.
Hey, thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. I don't know if I mentioned Modified Mafia, bringing them in here. You know, they put on a great show. I mean, look where we're at, and there's 3 of them, and they do it all, and it's just crazy. When Dave gets down there, I'll have to pick him up.
What a night. Thank you, Rick. We'll get ready for our 4-cylinder feature, and we'll throw it back up to the booth.
"15 laps the distance for the feature for the 4 cylinders here on night one of the Troutman Memorial Race as they come up to turn 4 and they get ready to fire as they come down the front stretch. Green flag is out. David Farrell using that inside line to his advantage to try to get around the 17 and the 16. Tom Brady using that outside line to get around the 6 of Travis Schaefer, who's dropping like a rock down the backstretch. The 4B of Jim Burt is now your leader, followed by the 16 of Brady, and they are drag racing down the front stretch with the David Farrell machine and the 17 of Donald Hillegas. Travis Schaefer continuing to drop back in the field as Wayne Brenneis getting blocked by the 17 of Hillegas as they go down the backstretch. And they both get into the wall. The 17 of Donald Hillegas and the 22 of Wayne Brenneis up into the wall in turns 3 and 4. And the 6 of Travis Schaefer also getting into the 17 of Donald Hillegas, ripping that back bumper off. And you can see, folks, the 17 of Donald Hillegas, that back bumper dragging as he gets it pulled away under its own power. The 22 of Wayne Brenneis, unfortunately, getting caught up into that mix. The 6 of Travis Schaefer is going into the pits after that incident up in 3 and 4. Folks at home, if you're watching on Sports Action TV, they're trying to get the 22 of Wayne Brenneis on the Bedford Automotive tow truck after a little mishap in between turns 3 and 4. The 17 of Donald Hillegas looping it, and the 22 having nowhere to go. Unfortunately caught up in the melee, along with the 6 of Travis Schaefer, who came by and clipped the back end of the 17 of Hillegas. Number 6 of Travis Schaefer coming back out onto the track as we get the 22 of Wayne Brenneis on the hook and going to pull into the pits up in turns 4. All right, so your lineup after that caution, the 4B of Jim Burt is your leader, the 16 of Tom Brady, the 14 of Javid Farrell. The 2 of Tyler Beckett, the 21 of Jason Deal, the 8 of Braden Powell, the 50 of Colin Welsh, the 53 of Anthony Stevens, and the 7 of Jacob Miller and the 6 of Travis Schaefer. That will round out your field. It's going to be a single file restart as they go down the backstretch, getting ready to go on this Howard Hanna Bardell Realty restart. Cars are in the hands of the 4B of Jim Bird as he comes to the restart zone, and they fire coming up out of turn 4. We are back to green flag racing. Javid Farrell still trying to get around the 16 of Tom Brady as they go down the backstretch, right all over the back bumper of that machine, going to the inside as they go into 3. Battle for second. That could open the door for the 2 of Tyler Beckett to maybe thread the needle, go through the middle of both of those cars. Not going to happen this time. They file back in line, going down the front stretch, completing another lap. Farrell almost getting passed again, coming up out of turn 2 by the 2 of Tyler Beckett, but he's going to go to the inside of Tom Brady, going into 3. He's still in the inside line on turn number 4 as they come down the front stretch. Now, will he complete the pass? They are side by side down the front stretch. Meanwhile, the 4B of Jim Bird is loving every minute of this. Farrell now gets the edge on the 16 of Brady as they go into 3, and he completes the pass as they come out of turn 4. Meanwhile, it is all Jim Bird's to lose, putting a sizable distance between himself and Farrell, who's taken over that second place spot. Now the 2 of Tyler Beckett, going to see if he can get around the 16 of Brady. Your 2025 track champion, the 16 of Tom Brady, having his hands full of the Tyler Beckett machine, and pretty soon the 21 of Jason Deal as well. Meanwhile, Farrell, a man without a country, trying to regain his composure and try to catch up to that 4B of Jim Burt. Meanwhile, the 2 of Tyler Beckett get to the inside of Tom Brady, up in 3 once again. Turn 3 is definitely the passing turn as the 2 of Tyler Beckett getting around the 16 of Brady. Beckett up to 3rd. Now Jason Deal as well, looking to the inside of Brady as we got the 7 of Jacob Miller. Possibly losing power as he goes down the backstretch. We are side by side on Sports Action TV. Onto the left side of your screen is your leader, the 4B of Jim Burt. And to the right side is the battle between Tom Brady and the 21 of Jason Deal. Brady in 4th, Deal in 5th. The 7 of Jacob Miller going to pull it in pit side. And now the 21 of Jason Deal on your screen, just getting around the 16 of Brady. Brady down to 5th. Jim Burt might be in for a surprise in the next few laps as the 14 of Javid Farrell slowly but surely catching up to your leader. Now Brady in the crosshairs of the 50 of Colin Welsh as they go into turns 1 and 2. Welsh all over the back bumper. That's 16 of Brady. As the 8 car of Braden Powell having some issues. He's going to try to pull it in, getting right in front of the 6 of Travis Schaefer. Did not realize he was there, but the Braden Powell machine going to pull it in. As now, the battle could be heating up for your 1 and 2 spots. The 53 of Anthony Stevens getting in the way of the 4B of Jim Burt, and that's going to close the gap between him and the 14 of Javid Farrell. They go down the front stretch. See if Farrell, what line he's going to use to try to get around the 4B. Most likely it's going to be that low line if he can catch up to him as they go down the backstretch. .50 of Welsh still trying to get around the 16 of Brady as we have 12 laps in the books. Battle definitely heating up. What's Javid Farrell going to do? Definitely gains momentum as he goes into 3. And lap traffic could be a factor as they're catching up to that 6 machine of Schaefer. As we have 2 laps to go this time by. If Farrell's going to make a move, it's got to be now. Going down the backstretch, Travis Schaefer in the way. We'll see how they manage it as they go into 3. White flag this time by. 1 to go as the 6 machine gets the layover flag, and they send it up in turns 1 and 2. And the caution comes out. Farrell going full send up into turn 1, nearly wiping out both machines as the caution flag comes out. You can see that instant replay on Sports Action TV. Farrell getting right into the side of the 4B of Jim Burt, and they both go around up in turn 1. Both machines moving under their own power. We'll see how race control. And they will get their spots back the way they were. So Jim Burt's still going to be your leader with the 14J of Javid Farrell going into second. Eric, like you say, I doubt those guys are gonna be exchanging any Christmas cards here coming up. It's just coming up very soon. Yeah. Before you know it, yeah, like it or not, Christmas is coming, and those two are not on each other's lists. We like it. We like it. We like Christmas. All right. Caution lights are off in the Speedway, and it's going to be a 1-lap dash for the lead. On this Howard Hanna Bardale Realty restart zone. We'll see how those top 2 cars fan out. Who's going to go where, because Burt knows it's coming as they come on up to the Howard Hanna Bardale Realty restart zone, and they fire. And we'll see how it shakes out as they go down the front stretch. And almost a caution there as the 6 and the 53 having some issues coming that start, but we stay green and we are still 1 lap dashing away as they come out of turn 4. We'll see what happens. This is it. The 4B of Jim Burt taking the checkered flag, the 14J of Javid Farrell, the 2 of Tyler Tyler Beckett, the 21 of Jason Deal, the 16 of Tom Brady, the 50 of Colin Welsh, the 53 of Anthony Stevens, and the 6 of Travis Schaefer. That will round out your field.
Great race, David. You tried some moves for the lead, didn't end up getting it, but you're up in victory lane. Here you are.
Yeah, Jim Burt won this. The rules up here, they're dumb. I'm just gonna be flat out honest. They need to open the rules up like every other track around here. I mean, he was light. That's it. So, I mean, it was like 50 pounds. So he drove his ass off. He definitely won this race. I mean, I won, but I don't really deserve this.
Would you like to thank anyone that helps on your car?
TJ Toon, Knights Landscaping, my brother James, he really helps me set this thing up and get it running. Chuck at TC Race Cars, all my friends and family up in the stands that come out and support and help me every week.
Thank you. Thanks for racing here. We'll let you get some pictures. You also get a trophy because it is the DJ Troutman Memorial. Give it up, race fans. The 14 of David Farrell.